On October 17th, 1952, over Oloron France, UFOs would be spotted, and then a strange, cottony substance would drift down to the ground. Today we hear one person's speculation on what angel hair was. And what must be the easiest goddamn exercise in script writing I've ever had. This entry on the iceberg, because psych, you're watching an iceberg explained video, it's all a Reddit post, so I don't have to write a goddamn thing. Thank you so much. Praise be, this video is going to be great. Now, this strange cottony material, which you can see in the pictures up above, sorry for those listening at home, has been analyzed at the University of Turin. Essentially, it was a mineral composition with unusual amounts of the element boron. Although it tends to sublimate or oxidize, residues were left. Now, the OP of this comment, user/smooth imagination from 2 months ago, so big breach for that, was able to locate some more info on the report as well. It does exist and was studied at the university, same thing we've already been talking about. And then we move into speculation. It has been noted, sometimes an almondy or cyanide-like odor is reported with angel hair. Sometimes also sulfur or burned rubber smells are associated with the UFO phenomena. These smells may be related to the chemical refining of some element from another material. The element boron is potentially very interesting. Although the author has had feedback this may be a contaminant of the borosilicate glass used in the container used to store or test the material, it's doubtful that this would have been the unknown to the chemical department that tested it, but it stands out as an element ideal to a type of fusion called a neutronic fusion, which is ideal for spacecraft. Fusing of an isotope of boron and a proton from hydrogen produces no long-lived radioactive isotopes, does not turn the reactor casing radioactive, and it produces waste energy in a form that can be efficiently converted to electricity without having to be converted from heat via a turbine or an engine. One of these is that this fusion produces charged alpha particles that can, via MHD thruster, run as a generator turned into electrical current. The other via direct conversion of X-rays into electricity, as patented by Dr. Eric Lerner's team. Probably about 70% or more of the energy produced by this fusion can be directly converted into electricity. However, there is more than one isotope found in any natural source of boron, and only one is useful for this fusion. So it follows that if the element was being refined, then the bulk impurities would need chemically removing, and then the component of which, being the undesirable isotopes of boron, would be discarded along with all the other impurities in the source ore. This, the author believes, by way of an unusual method of refining, appears as an unstable extrude, aka angel hair. Now, right after that, we have a comment that will be very relevant in a later video, but I'm going to go ahead and give my critique and feedback on this theory. Now, this theory seems pretty great. Now, reading up on a neutronic fusion using my favorite online textbook, and also the reason I'm able to learn so many things so freaking fast, Wikipedia. If you aren't donating to them already, you should start doing so. OP definitely knew what they were talking about. A neutronic fusion does not produce nearly as much radiation as other forms of fusion. As a matter of fact, it produces 0.001% residual radiation, which is pretty incredible. The only problems with a neutronic fusion, however, is a Coulomb barrier and, well, just how little energy it puts out in comparison to other fusion forms that produce radiation. Basically, to have this fusion happen, you have to get the stuff really, really, really hot. You have to have it so hot that it could be on the hub, and then you've got to have the right kinds of fuel. Most commonly used is deuterium, which is a form of helium. However, you can see way down on this isotopes list just proton and boron. Now, boron 11 specifically, despite having one of the lowest energy outputs on the list, is the second most favored. The most favored in our current research is deuterium, and that's because it is the easiest, it has the lowest energy threshold, and it does not require plasma levels heat, which boron requires. Yes, to get boron to fuse in this manner, you have to get that to some plasma, like you know, just a nice chilly few billion degrees Celsius. No big deal anyway. You've just got to get it hotter than the sun, which is fine. It's cool. Now, as for how effective I think this could be in space, I mean, yeah, if we could just figure out how to commercialize this, it'd be pretty effective in space. The problem with commercializing it is the temperatures needed to get there, the power balance, because you're putting power into it before you're getting power out, and not exactly in a good way. You know, 6.6 gigakelvins of temperature is not exactly easy to produce, and the power density, it is not a very dense form of power in comparison to other generators, so we're going to have to work out those kinks. Now, could this mean that perhaps boron is preferable, and it is a power source by aliens? Totally. We can be on that 3 a.m. History Channel grind set. I mean, stranger things have happened, and I personally am not going to come in here, slap my schmeat on the table, and tell you that aliens never have and never will exist, because at the end of the day, I don't know, I'm just some guy on the internet, and I like to keep an open mind. It's more fun that way. So what was up with the angel hair? No clue. Possibly boron. Possibly a neutronic fusion, which sounds really good, but does not produce a lot. And that does it. That's the video, the whole thing. Incredible, I know, right? A really short one. My ad revenue is going to hate me for it. So, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and you're new here, go ahead and just subscribe. Barring personal tragedy happening, I do upload almost daily. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and just click that red button down below. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about what this is a part of, because I did mention that you had been punked and that this was part of an Iceberg Explained vid. This is the ultimate 1,000 entry unsolved mysteries iceberg, and I'm covering the entire thing because I already covered an iceberg bigger than Wendigoon's conspiracy iceberg once, and I figured I'd do it again. I am coming for Wendigoon, but in a good way, to give that guy a high five. Love his stuff. Now, without further ado, thank you to my, at the time of recording, 4 patrons. David Height, AJ, That's Insane Henry, and Sumi. It is with your guys' help I am able to do cool things like eat and live, because you need money to do that now. I love society and its consequences. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time. Until next time, see you tomorrow. Memento Mori.